station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Little Caesars Arena is officially open for business. Today's ribbon cutting ceremony signals a new era in the Motor City and the vibrant District Detroit. Great night for baseball here tonight. Welcome to Comerica Game 2 featuring the Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Kirk Gibson. Glad to have you with us here for the middle game in this series. Tigers, the business at hand tonight is finally getting a win game. You got to do it this evening. They really did battle yesterday.
They've had battle. So much has changed for this team, and they got to keep playing hard. They got down 5 runs. They spotted the Kansas City Royals. Nick Castellanos hit a 3-run homer in the 9th inning, but they fell just a little bit short. They're playing hard, and we do have some new guys in the lineup, and there's a lot at stake going into the end of this season and into next year.
All right, let's talk about Nick Castellanos. You mentioned the home run. He really has had a big year. Maybe we're not paying attention to the big year because he has at times struggled defensively, but he's been good.
Well, a lot's been said about Nick Castellanos throughout the year, but just look at James McCann. Remember, he came, he was supposed to be the catcher. He sat the bench. What did he do? He kept a good attitude and came back raking. Nick Castellanos, the same. A lot's been said about his defense at third base. Now he's a designated hitter. He's going to play some right field. He's carried himself well as too. Not pouting, just wants to win as a team. By the way, he's had a pretty good year. As you can see, 20 home runs, 80 RBI, ranks among the top third basemen around the league in games played, extra hits, multi-hit games. The team has changed. He's a vet now, and he's showing more leadership, and he's having a pretty darn good year.
All right, Castellanos and the Tigers getting set for Game 2. It's just minutes away. After a short break, we'll go down to the Call Sign Studios, check in with Mickey York. Coming up tonight, well, the Tigers fell behind early yesterday. They battled back. We'll see if they can finish the deal this evening. Tigers-Royals next.
face the Tigers tonight. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for the Royals All-Star, and he will take the mound tonight, having lost 3 straight. The Tigers hoping to make it 4, of course. Mickey York back with you here in the Coliseum studio. Game 1 between the Tigers and the Royals coming up shortly. Some rain in the area, but we are scheduled to start on time. That's good news. Royals able to squeak out a 1-run victory over the Tigers yesterday to keep their wild card hopes alive, and they did so with the help of 3 home runs. Of course, we hope to get that out of the Tigers here tonight, because if the Tigers combine to hit 3 or more home runs in this game, you win. Bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Rain, go away. It is dry here now. That's the good news. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Chrysler, hurry in and get a great deal at the Chrysler Labor Day sales event. And by Kroger, with low prices and weekly deals, saving is easy at Kroger.
Clear here in downtown Detroit. Tigers Royals getting set for game 2 in this series. Daniel Sanchez on the mound for the Tigers. Presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Making his 250th career start tonight. This is 16th on the year. 11 for the Tigers, 4 for Toledo, 1 at West Michigan. I think he's got to keep him honest. He's got to throw the ball inside. Fastball, slider, change, and curveball. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, maybe 5 at times.
Here is the starting lineup he will face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Merrifield, Kane, and Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Hosmer homered yesterday, then Perez and Moustakas. Moss, Escobar, and Gordon will round it out for Ned Yost. And the Royals and Anibal Sanchez getting set to go to work, and tonight's ball game is underway as Merrifield digs in and he swings and fouls the first one back.
Shocker, swinging at the first pitch already.
Saw a lot of that yesterday. In fact, we saw a lot of that in the Cleveland series as well.
19 of 43 first pitch swings last night. That's 44%.
Merrifield batting .281. Looks at a ball high, 1 ball and 1 strike on Witt. 17 home runs. He has power out of that leadoff slot. He will also steal a base. Now the 1-1. Merrifield backs out of there 2-1.
Trying to get the ball in early. Establish it. Opens the rest of the pitches up. His arsenal.
Merrifield sprays that one foul. First appearance since August 16th for Sanchez when he went 2 1/3 in Texas. Hamstring problems took him out of that game and then put him on the DL. And Merrifield shoots one right back off Sanchez. He'll run it down and throw it away. And now Merrifield will head to second base, and he is in there standing up. Sanchez doubled over now. Here comes Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer.
That smoked him. Did they get him on the shin?
It must have.
He picked it up. I don't know, that ball could have been a little wet. Came right in the side of the leg. Remember, it was raining just before the game as Kansas City was taking batting practice, so that grass could be wet. That ball got away from him. Those really sting when it first happens, and the hope is as you let it settle for a second that it eases and you can recover enough to take a couple warm-up throws and get back to the mound. This would really throw a wrinkle into the Tigers' bullpen should he not be able to go.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, the Tigers got an extra arm today. Alcantara came up from the minor leagues, and they are really sturdy in the bullpen as far as volume. But, boy, you don't want a guy to leave after one batter. And we'll see if Sanchez can stay in this game. They've ruled it a single and an error. So Merrifield at second.
He'll probably be able to go now, but maybe as the game goes on, if we have a long inning, they could get tender.
Oh, I think he's going to take himself out of the game. That didn't look good.
Yep, he's going to be done.
Wow. One batter in.
Brad is getting the scorecard out for Corey Blazer. He's going to make a change.
Sanchez took one warm-up pitch and then buckled on the second one. And so Anibal will depart. We'll see who the Tigers want to bring in here. But they are going to have a bullpen night tonight, it appears.
Well, this was his first start back too. I mean, he pulled his hamstring in his last outing, so he's been on the shelf throwing on the side in some simulated games. Didn't last long. Hope he's all right.
So Sanchez hobbles off the field with Kevin Rand. Will step aside. Wallside windows pitching change here in Detroit. Bullpen after one batter tonight. Whit Merrifield hit a ball off the leg of Anibal Sanchez. He is done for the evening. Miles J now will have to get ready to pitch this ball game. Certainly was not expecting to, but on Saturday he was really good.
He was. He came in for his first appearance up here, and except for one little hiccup, got 5 out of 6 batters. And I tell you what, you're sitting down there and think about it. You're in the bullpen. You've gone out. You've got a routine. You're not expecting to throw. Your starting pitcher gets hit, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're in the game. So this is quite an experience. I can remember having like a day off after like 30 in a row, just sitting there relaxing. And the guy that's playing for you gets hit by a pitch, and you got to go in. So, you know, he'll get loose physically, but the mental part is what you really have to catch up to speed, so to say. And like with Anibal, he's prepared with the catcher going into the game, and they know what page they're on. Now Miles J has not done that, so he's going to have to trust his battery mate, Mr. McCannon.
Well, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game when we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Well, who knows? It just might be Miles J who is pressed into duty here in the first inning when Merrifield hit a sharp ground ball off the leg of Anibal Sanchez. So J trying to get loose, trying to get ready, and I think you bring up a good point, Gibby. He'll get himself physically ready, but boy, that mental part's got to be tough for him right now.
Yeah, well, everything's going pretty quick, and it's kind of like running a mile and sprinting the first quarter mile. It takes you a while to get stabilized, but it'll be good for him. You never know; it can happen many more times in his career. That's one of the fun things. Sometimes you don't know you're going in. Maybe you don't over-prepare. Sometimes that happens as well. And let's take a look at the Tigers' starting defense, brought to you by Kirk and Mario. Matuk, Jones, and Presley across the outfield. Candelario at third base. Iglesias at short. Ian Kinsler again there at second. Hicks at first. See, Miles J is now throwing to James McCann.
Well, we mentioned, fortunately, this is happening here in the month of September when the Tigers are very deep in the bullpen. Victor Alcantara was called up, and Brad, in fact, was saying before the game today that, you know, they're not getting a lot of innings from their starters now that Verlander and Fulmer are out or gone in the case of Verlander. So, you know, when you're getting about 5 innings per start, you need a little bit of a deeper bullpen. So Alcantara has joined the team, and
yeah,
the good thing is they're deeper in that pen now.
Yeah, they have 13 now with the expanded rosters. 4 of them are lefties. Normally you'd have 7 or 8 in the bullpen. One of them's your closer.
We had some rain here at the ballpark earlier today. It is seemingly cleared out now. The temperature is 66 degrees here at game time. Partly cloudy, but it looks like the rain will stay away the rest of the night. That is the hope, at least.
And I was talking earlier about the grass being wet. Kansas City was right in the middle of their batting practice, and a rain shower snuck up really quick, and the ground crew got the tarp on fairly quickly, but the grass is wet, so you got to think about that. The bases and everything, they did a good job. They got the tarp on, but just a cruise along. Look at Rex Hudler, he even got wet.
Hud getting some air time.
See if he's going to melt over there. He's a beauty, isn't he?
Yeah, he's something else, all right. And they were able to get the field covered, and it's in good shape now. So Miles J will go to work here, facing Lorenzo Cain with a man on. And there's ball 1 to Cain. Again, the ruling was a single and an error on that play, allowing Merrifield to reach second. Cain last night had 3 hits, a .296 batting average now for Cain. The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes on Cain.
You got to watch Whit Merrifield out there. He flinched out there. He's trying to time up Miles J. You know, he will steal. He has stolen once already of third base.
7 for 7 this year in steals of third. And so Jay will try and hold him close, or at least let him know he's paying attention.
27 bags on the year, only caught 3 times. Be nice to get out of this first inning with no runs.
Here's the 2-0. Man, does Kane take a rip, and he bounced that one off his foot.
I mean, he tries to back legs, what we call. Watch it, he just really gets that backside in. He's good long finish there, and he gets one off the pad there. It looks like it misses it a little bit.
Kane this year is batting .375 in this ballpark. Now bluff to second. Merrifield gets back in there. Umpiring crew tonight features Corey Blazer behind the plate. Jeff Nelson down at third is your crew chief. Laz Diaz, Doug Eddings also on the crew tonight. Way outside, it'll go to the backstop, and that'll advance the runner. And the count now will go to 3-1 on Kane.
So I think with Merrifield out there was very distracting. Like I said, Miles J coming into the game, this is a situation he couldn't have dreamed up before the game. So it's going to take him a while to get a little settled in here.
Wild pitch advances the runner to third now. 3-1 on Kane. And he walked in ball 4. That'll put 2 men on for the Royals. And it brings up number 3 hitter Melky Cabrera. Melky, a couple of RBIs in the opener yesterday, was 1 for 5 with a double that drove in a pair.
You got to watch. Lorenzo Cain has 24 stolen bases, so this is a good combination for Kansas City. Tigers are going to have to decide what they want to do. In the olden days, you could fake to third and then throw to first. Now you cannot. If you go to third, you must throw the ball to third. You cannot fake to third. That was changed a couple of years ago.
Kane has been caught only twice with his 24 bags. And Cabrera sends the ground ball to first. They're going to go to second for 1, and no relay. That'll get a run in. Fielder's choice by Cabrera scores a run, and the Royals lead 1-0.
This is only the first inning, first and third. You got a decision to make right here. John Hicks, the ball comes right to him. Do you want to go? That runner's going right in from third. Runner's advancing to second. He did the right thing, went right. So you're looking here. So he's got it. It's right in his view right here. He knows he's going, but he makes the right play in the first inning. You want to take. You'll concede the run and try and get the double play. However, they were unable to do so, but it is the right play.
Here is Eric Hosmer. Big day yesterday for Hosmer. 2 out of 4 with a homer and 3 driven in. Royals raced out to a 5-0 lead in yesterday's game before the Tigers fought back, eventually losing by a run. 23 home runs now for Hosmer. That'll bend in the outside corner for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1.
I was talking in the open about throwing the ball inside. I think Eric Hosmer is one of those candidates. He pounds the ball out over the plate to left center. Did so with the single in the first and a home run in the third in yesterday's game.
Hosmer with 17 RBIs in 14 games against the Tigers this year. You saw the number. He has absolutely pounded Tigers pitching.
Look at that bat he's got in there. It's not just out of the box. That's game used. He's been a gamer for a little while. He's got the tape on the handle. He's got a stick on there. Probably a few cleat marks in there.
there's going to be a time when he's going to eventually break that bat, and he's probably going to feel sad about it because it's probably going to have been a gamer, as you say, for a while.
Now, McCann wanted that ball inside, and Jay missed outside. He's got to get it in there. It's one of the things that youngsters have to learn. And there's various reasons why it's hard to get it in there. Sometimes you just miss. Sometimes you don't want to hit him. But you must get it in when it's called in.
Slice to left field on a line and caught by Matuk. Started in and then backed up for the out. 2 gone.
He just pounds that ball over the plate. That's what he did yesterday. That was a single yesterday. But Mikey hauled that one in. Take a look at that swing. He just waits on it. It's a breakable. It's about the 3rd one he saw that at bat. Look at that follow. Big length right over towards left field, is right where he hit the ball. He's really turned into an excellent ball player, one of the best over there at first base.
A lot of whip action on his swing.
Well, what you see is that front foot comes up and then it comes down and he stays.
Salvador Perez homered in the ball game yesterday as well, 1 for 5. The Royals hit 3 homers in yesterday's game. Escobar, Perez, and Hosmer. Royals trying to stay in the wild card race. They are right there. Grounded foul, 1-1. Royals came in 2.5 back of the second wild card position. Another big year offensively for Perez. 67 driven in, 22 home runs. Now the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Let's take a look at the wild card standings in the American League. Yankees entrenched there, 3 games over Minnesota. Los Angeles a half back. You see Baltimore, Texas. KC only 2.5 back. Seattle. They talk about jumping over top, but regardless, it can be done if you play well.
2-2 on Perez. Well, 25 games to go in the regular season, and so the clock is ticking for teams in the wild card chase. And if you're this Royals team, you know that you've put together a couple of really lengthy winning streaks this year. They got to believe they've got a chance.
I promise you, they are all scoreboard watching. Some to different degrees.
It's almost impossible not to, I would think, Kirk, with all the scores right in your face, really in every ballpark.
Well, these players, they know. I mean, I literally can remember watching it every pitch, turning around, looking at the scoreboard, because it changes. And then all of a sudden, it'll stay that you kind of have a feel for how long the inning's supposed to last, and all of a sudden, it'll just stay, and it'll stay, and it'll stay, and stay. Just drags it on.
And you're thinking something's going on in that game.
Just teases you.
Here's the 3-2 with the runner going, and it's driven in the air to right field. Presley coming over. He'll get there, and that'll retire the side, so the Royals settle for 1 run. Here come the Tigers now at the bottom of the first. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For Brad Ausmus tonight, it'll be Kinsler, Matuk, and the red-hot Castellanos. Then McCann cleaning up, followed by Hicks and Candelario, Presley, Jones, Iglesias, your bottom three. And their mission tonight is to face the left-hander. It'll be Jason Vargas, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Veteran guy, 243rd appearance, 12th career start versus the Tigers. 14-9 in 2017, although he's faltered after a very early start. It's very slow fastball, 85 miles an hour, does have a change. Let's take a look at the Royals starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons as well. Out there in the outfield, Alex Gordon in left, great play the other day. Kane in center, Cabrera in right, Moustakas, Escobar, Merrifield, and Hosmer around the infield. Salvador Perez catching again is Jason Vargas.
So here is Kinsler to get it started now for the Tigers against the lefty Vargas. He in 0 for 4 in the opener yesterday, and he'll look at a strike 0-1. He in 14 homers on the year, batting average now down to 235. The 0-1 pitch, a little bit outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Time for the Bernstein advantage, and here are the numbers between these two. Good numbers for Mr. Kinsler. Slicing that one foul to right field.
Like that approach right there by Ian. Seems he's been a little pull happy, and the bat head has been dragging just a little bit.
Here's the 1-2. Tigers, the last time they saw Vargas, they beat him up pretty good. That was in Kansas City when they scored 6 runs against him. And Vargas didn't last that long. He went 2 2/3 against the Tigers. Lifted in the air to right field. That'll be playable for Cabrera. Kinsler is out, 1 gone.
Talking about the July 17th game, there's an ugly line. We'd like to duplicate it. 7 hits and 6 runs and 2 2/3. 4 walks. Tigers laid off the garbage.
Vargas was rolling in the first half. He made the All-Star team this year in the American League and won 12 games in the first half.
It's like 12-3, wasn't he?
Yeah, things have twisted dramatically in the second half. Here is Mikey Matuk. Mikey takes strike 1. Mikey ran into some tough luck in yesterday's game with that ball that looked like was going to be a 3-run homer pulled back by Gordon. He would end up 0 for 5. 0-2.
Yeah, it's a tough. That's changeup right there. Vargas, he's a veteran guy. He knows the aggressive hitters. He's going to just not give in. That's just good arm action on it. Might wonder how Mikey can swing at that. It's good action on that. Ball comes out looking like a strike.
Foul tip into the glove for strike 3, and Vargas has his first strikeout of the night.
Well, it's a little different lineup tonight. Tonight's lineup is on the right. July 17th on the left. Not many of the same characters. Of course, Miggy's out, JD's out, and Victor's out. Alex Avila is not in. So, Tigers got their work cut out for them, but a great opportunity.
Castellanos. Nicholas 1 for 4. Homer to the ball game last night late to get the Tigers to within 1, and it looked for a while like they might finish off the deal yesterday and come back and win that contest.
Spotted him 5 early on. It's hard to come back in 1 inning.
So 20 home runs on the year now for Nicholas, and a total of 10 triples as well.
You know, I always found with a pitcher like Vargas, you cannot think about hitting the ball on the pull side. Like, he'll throw that fastball up there like he did Mikey. It looks fast because you're half looking for the changeup all the time, which is 80 miles an hour. It's only about a 5-mile-an-hour dip. You can see the ball fading as well from that view. Love this shot right there.
So you're thinking center field and right field?
Thinking let it get deep. He's only throwing 85 miles an hour, but the ball is in the zone. You'll still have time to get to it.
High fly into shallow right. Cabrera coming on. He'll get there, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Vargas. As we go to the top of the second here at the ballpark and get half-off tickets for select Tuesday home games with the free MLB Ballpark app. Download the Ballpark app via Google Play or the App Store on your smartphone, or visit tigers.com/ballpark app. It's as simple as that. Here at the ballpark, the rain has moved out, which is good news. And the Tigers down by a run as Miles J goes back to the hill. You've got Mike Moustakas to lead it off, and he'll take ball one.
Chilly rain today, wasn't it?
It was
cold right before it came down.
Temp in the 60s here at the yard tonight. Moustakas hammers one to center. Jones on the move. It's over his head. Up against the wall. Moustakas on his way to second, and he's in with a double. Leadoff two-base hit for Mike Moustakas.
Good carry. Moustakas hammered it. Misplayed a little bit by Jacoby. And this ball's right over his head, and you've got to have a good read. Sometimes you try and sit down. You got to force yourself to get back. But this gets over his head. But he picks this ball up and misses his cutoff man. They're going to have to work on it. Now, they were out throwing today before the game, all the outfielders, and you just got to take that practice into the game.
Brandon Moss goes up there, hacking 0-1. Royals have a couple of hits now. The leadoff double by Moustakas. Moss, good power, 18 homers. 201 batting average on the year. If you joined us a little bit late tonight, Sanchez made the start for the Tigers. The first batter he faced was Merrifield, who hit a ground ball off his leg, and that knocked Sanchez out of the game. He could not continue, so Miles J has been forced into duty early here tonight. Moss yesterday was 1 for 5 in the opener.
He's going to try and pull it and get him over.
He pulls it on the ground to the right side, fielded by Hicks. This will advance the runner. One gone.
You got a guy on second, nobody out. You know, if you're the hitter, and Brandon Moss is a full hitter, he's going to try and do everything. He's rolling that over to get it over. Advance Moustakas. Job well done. Tigers have the infield in. Trying to cut this run down at the plate.
Escobar homered in yesterday's game, his 4th of the year.
First pitch, this guy, you got to make him. If you can throw this, he's going to chase it. He's ultra aggressive. Do not throw it over for a strike.
Ball 1. Escobar, one of those Royals, again doing well versus Tigers pitching this year. 340 against the Tigers. Trying to drive in a run from third.
Hitting 292 with runners in scoring position.
That'll miss high. 2 balls and no strikes. Moustakas led it off with a double. He's standing at third now with 1 out. Royals got a run in the first.
13 walks on the year for Escobar. We've walked him once in this series.
Whistled foul as he turned on a 2-0 pitch. 2-1.
Royals 380.
Yikes.
Runners in scoring position versus the Tigers. On base 431. That's not the numbers you want to see if you're the Tigers, but you got a chance to turn it around right now.
Now the 2-1. Popped up. This won't get the run in. First base side for Hicks, and there are 2 gone, so Escobar is unable to get it done.
Excellent job. Need to finish it off here by getting Alex Gordon.
Gordon yesterday 1 for 4, had a single, infield single. And that snapped an 0 for 15 slump. He has really scuffled this year with the bat. 198 batting average. But he made a huge difference with his glove in yesterday's game. That'll go foul. You know, one of the things I've noticed, Kirk, about Ned Yost is that it seems like every single night his lineup is the same. Very rarely does he change it. And I guess he's one of those skippers that believes in putting guys in certain slots and keeping them there.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit old school, but he believes in it. And there's, you know, Joe Madden came along and he started switching guys all the time. I know I got criticized for leaving mine like Ned did a little bit, but hitters like that. Players like that. They like to know where they're hitting in the game. We'll talk more about it.
Gordon is out of there, and they strand a runner at third.
Good damage control.
As we go to the bottom of the second, and just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time. Later in tonight's game, it's brought to you by Miller Lite. Vargas goes back to work. He got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the first inning. It'll be McCann, Hicks, Candelario.
Only 11 pitches. 12 actually.
And he picked up a strikeout in that first inning. McCann looks at a strike. James batting in the cleanup slot in the ball game this afternoon. The Tigers still without Miguel Cabrera, who is serving his suspension. Wayne State night at the ballpark tonight, by the way. That's why you've got the Wayne State colored Tigers caps. So welcome to our neighbors downtown here, just up Woodward. The Warriors. 0-2 on McCann. McCann is the fourth different cleanup hitter the Tigers have had now in the last 4 games.
So their lineup's changing
Quite a bit.
compared to Ned Yost.
Of course, the Tigers, when they had their A lineup before all the trades and the changes the Tigers have made, they were fairly consistent with their lineup. I'm not sure quite as consistent as the Royals, but
Kinsler was always at first. J-Up was at 3. Second switched a bit. 4 was Miggy. Actually, Miggy was third. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Kinsler and Miggy. Victor started the year pretty much behind Miggy, protecting him. They got the JD and then J-Up.
oh, McCann hit by the pitch, and man, I don't know what's going on this year, but I know McCann was hitting the helmet in that brawl with the Yankees. It seems like the Tigers are getting hit every single night.
This ball, you'd like to hope, just got away from him. Didn't even hit him.
That'll be the first base runner of the night for the Tigers.
Make it hurt. Now, you're going to know he's going to throw a lot of changeups. He's going to look for that ground ball. Here's his heater. It's the best one of the night, 87.
Since July 31st, the Tigers now been hit 17 times. He went around.
There's the changeup. Looks like Hicks is way up to the front of the plate. And I'd be up here too, right in this area right here. Normally you'd be back further.
And the reason for that?
Well, he's throwing the changeup 80 miles an hour, and it's going to dip. The longer it goes, it's going to drop more. Want the ball up more. We want to try and force him to throw that fastball. Richie Hebner taught us to go up there to the front of the box and scrape the front line out, because the rule says you must be all the way out of the box, right, to be called out for being not hitting out of the box.
Right.
So if you step on any part of that chalk, you can't be out of the box. So we would just go up there and spread the chalk a little bit.
Make the chalk a little deeper. Make the line a little bigger.
But in general, I don't think guys like to move around in the box, but that's just one of the things we did.
2-2 is low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Getting word on Sanchez now, a contusion in his calf, which is basically a bruise. X-rays negative. 3-2 on Hicks. Candelario waiting on deck. And he lost it, ball 4. That'll put 2 Tigers on now with nobody out. Hit, batter, and a walk.
Well, talked about Jason Vargas, how good he was at the beginning of the first half before he got the All-Star selection. Not so good. 12-3 versus 2-6. ERA is much different as well as the average.
He had won 7 consecutive starts from May 30th to June 7th, but since that time has an ERA of north of 7. Candelario has the tying run at second now, nobody out. And Jamer looks at a strike now, 0-2. Off speed again from the lefty Vargas. These are the numbers overall for Candelario. 239 with a home run. He had spent some time with the Cubs in the National League prior to the trade. Drives this one to the gap in left center field. It's going to get down and go to the wall. 1 run scores, maybe 2. Hicks rounding third. He comes home, and Candelario has given the Tigers the lead. Jamer.
It's a gamer.
He's your pick, isn't he?
Yeah, he's my pick. I forgot there for a second. Yeah, he's got a nice swing. Look at this ball's up. He's just got a nice level swing, short to the ball. I think that you're going to see him being featured a lot more off-speed pitches as he proves he can hit that fastball, which he has already shown the Royals. Big double, 2 RBI, 4-pointer.
First 2 RBIs as a Tiger for Candelario, and the Tigers have the lead now, 2-1. There's a ball outside to Alex Presley. The hit batter comes around to score. The walk comes around to score. Presley fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Presley, a 3-hit game yesterday, including a triple, his second of the year.
I'm going to watch this guy up here. Little curveball there. This is the shot I love right here. And this is where you can see what Alex Presley's looking at. Chambers up here at the top. He wants to get a hop, hop, hop. You want to return if the ball crosses the plate. You're ready to advance. Nobody out. Don't get doubled off.
It's been a huge homestand for Presley. 10 hits, 10 for 22 for Alex.
Well, July 1st, 342. On base, almost 380. That's a good number.
Vargas now with the 2-2. Right back up the middle into center field, base hit. Candelario coming around to score, and Presley gets it done. It's 3-1 Tigers.
That's a good shot right there. Alex trying to just get him over, and he gets him over and in. Good reaction time up there at top by Jamer. Good read. Gets that neck around, and Dave Clark sends him home. Tigers now lead 3-1.
14th RBI of the year for Presley. The Tigers making good on a hit batter and a walk. After Vargas had gotten him 1, 2, 3 in the first. Still nobody out. Here is Jacoby Jones. .167 this year for Jacoby. Driven to right field. That ball is hit well. It's going to carry. It's gone. A 2-run shot for Jacoby Jones. His second home run of the year, and it got out in a hurry. And the Tigers are pouring it on, 5-1.
101 off the bat right here. This is Oppo. This is why the Tigers are so interested in seeing this young kid, what he can do in September. Ball's actually about 2-3 inches off the plate. He says total coverage. Little reaction from Melky Cabrera in right field. He just turned around and looked.
It's got to feel good for Jacoby. His first home run since opening day in the major leagues, when he homered against Jose Quintana in Chicago.
Well, if you're Brad Ausmus, you're going to put Jacoby. If you've noticed, he's played him on and off. He's trying to put him in spots where he can succeed. You want to see how this kid can play with confidence. All the youngsters, for all that matters.
A 5-run second with nobody out as Iglesias fouls one back, 1-2. 2 RBIs for Candelario and Jones, and an RBI for Presley, and that's the story right now. The 5 spot.
Still nobody out. 5 in.
On the ground with the shortstop, Escobar. And Iglesias is out, 1 away.
Inning started, McCann hit by a pitch. Hicks walk, double by Jammer. Single by Presley, home run by Jones. 5. Boom.
That'll bring up Kinsler now. He had flied out to right field in his only at bat so far. So the Tigers picking up where they left off the last time they faced Vargas, and they put up a 6 spot on him back at KC. One ball, 1 strike.
Just watching Ian, I know he's played a lot of games. It just seems like that back shoulder is just coming around the ball and dipping a little bit. He's just having trouble getting through the zone. I was talking to him in the clubhouse today. He said, "Don't talk about me." He said, "Yeah, Mikey's on deck and Nick's after that, and Iglesias just grounded out the short." Does he think I'm a jinx? I can't jinx him.
Don't say his name, huh? Yeah, well, there's a lot of folks that believe in the jinx. 3-1 pitch. 3-2 now on Kinsler. By the way, that is the first time the Tigers have scored 5 runs in an inning since August the 12th. And it's a welcome sight here tonight. They lead 5-1. Back up the middle. There's a base hit.
See, shut up.
Right, you talked about him and he got a base hit.
No, I muted myself and he got one.
Oh. See, now you're feeding the beast. You're feeding the jinx beast.
It's good right there. You see he's just going with the 2-strike approach, not even stepping, and right up the middle. You say it. Good job, Ian.
Good job, Ian. Here is Matuk. It is already a 31 pitch inning now for Vargas. Mikey Van in the first. Ball 1. .44 now for Vargas and counting.
Through 1 1/3.
Matuk is the 8th man to bat in this inning. High towering fly ball to left. That's to the track. That's to the wall, and that's gone. Matuk with a 2-run shot. And the Tigers are beating up on Jason Vargas. Gordon may have robbed him yesterday, but not tonight. That ball was way out of here.
Yeah, Mikey, you see the nice slow lift of the leg, puts it down, keeps his hands back, And no doubt about this one. This was gone right off the bat.
There's a drive to left and a base hit. It's turned into batting practice for the Tigers.
It's 9 hitters here in the second for the Tigers.
Check in now with Matt Shepard.
Mario, I was talking with Mikey Matuk earlier today, and I asked him about hitting that, what he thought was a homer yesterday that Alex Gordon robbed him. And Gibby, you can relate to this. He says you barely even feel it, if at all, when you get all of it. And that's exactly how he felt yesterday. He said, I feel really good at the plate, but I felt like that was gone because I couldn't feel it. It felt right on the spot of the bat that you're supposed to hit the ball. Obviously, he felt it that time too, if you get my drift, even though he doesn't truly feel it when you hit that home run.
That's true. When you make solid contact and it goes perfectly off the sweet spot, it doesn't feel like the bat has impacted the ball at all. It's just, but it goes a long way. It's a good feel. You just center it and you have a backspin on it. It carries on out.
Royals have action now as McCann steps in.
Remember when I hit one over the roof one time, how that one felt to this day is a hot, steamy August night. It just didn't feel that one, and I could almost feel the bat like flexed. So Mikey's he's not lying. He felt it again tonight, though.
The 0-1 to McCann is a strike call. Trevor Cahill warming up for the Royals. 7 runs, second inning. Jacoby Jones a home run. Mikey Matuk a home run. Off the end of the bat, foul. See Tiger box tonight.
He missed it yesterday, Mikey, 4th inning. Tigers down. Apparently it's a home run. Gordon perfectly times it, goes over the fence. And Mikey can't believe it. Thought it was a home run. He high-fived Omar. Only to have it taken away.
Well, they got him back tonight. It's turning into a very long inning for Vargas. You're getting to the point now where, as a manager and a pitching coach, you get a little bit concerned. He's approaching 40. He's got 38 pitches.
And he had, what, 12 in the first, so that's 38 pitches this inning.
Ground ball to third, gobbled up there by Moustakas to second one. Relay to first is safe. Took him off the bag. And McCann is aboard now with 2 outs.
Looked like a tailor-made double play, but Hosmer has to come off the bag for on the double play relay throw. Doug Eddings all over it. Or that's not Doug Eddings, that's Las Diaz.
John Hicks walked and scored earlier. Candelario 2-run double, Presley RBI single, and homers from Jones and Matuk. In there, 0-2. Eleven men to the plate here in the second for the Tigers. Bouncing ball to third, and Moustakas will get the out at first base to retire the side. But a huge inning for the Tigers. Little bit of everything. Candelario doubles hit a couple. Presley singles and run. And a couple of long balls. Jacoby and Matuk. And it's 7-1 Tigers.
presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
Well, the Tigers throw up a 7 spot to lead 7-1 in a 42-pitch inning for Jason Vargas. Homers Matuk and Jones. And now here come the Royals. Whit Merrifield leads it off.
Got to have a shutdown inning, don't you? Have an inning like that, got to put it away. Stop
Jake
him.
gave up a double in his last inning of work, then got 3 outs. They did not score. Jay, of course, had to come on for Sanchez, who left with a bruised calf. It was a ground ball by Merrifield that caught him on the calf and knocked him out of the game. Whit was given a single. He scored a run on that play, and there's a ball inside. Run the count to 1-2 now on Merrifield. Kane and then Cabrera to follow here in the Royals' third. Inside, and the count levels now 2-2. Tigers trying to see how many they can get out of Jay, who is pressed into duty, 1 batter into this game. They have more action in the bullpen. Merrifield drives one to left field, and it's going to be caught by Matuk. 1 out. Let's bring in Rod Allen now, who is field side next to the Tigers dugout, and it's an explosion, Rod, that we haven't seen in quite a while. Nice to see, huh?
It's been a while, but great approach today against Vargas. Obviously, they got really good numbers against him anyway, career-wise. They've also beat him up once this year, but I thought maybe this younger lineup would struggle against Vargas, but these guys have made him get the ball up in the strike zone. They have not been pull happy, and because of that, they've racked up a lot of runs today.
7 runs on 6 hits.
Rod, just thinking because their aggressiveness, the young guys, and his changeup might play up.
Well, sometimes a guy like Vargas, and this is not to make any excuses for him, but a lot of these guys he's never seen before. So he really doesn't have a great scouting report on them. So he's probably out there touching and feeling, trying to figure out what Candelario and some of these guys can't hit. And therefore, these guys have had some nice approaches through time through the lineup.
Blaine Hardy tuning up in the Tigers bench, so he'll be next. There's a ball low, and now the count on Lorenzo Cain, 3-0. Royals had to be feeling pretty good. They knocked the starting pitcher out, 1 batter into the game. Getting deep into the Tigers bullpen as ball 4 sails to the backstop. But Vargas couldn't hold him. That is the 2nd walk in this game for Lorenzo Cain.
The right fielder, Melky Cabrera.
It's going to be it.
Here comes Brad. So Miles J will give him 2 1/3 in this game before he departs. It's a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back. by big story, we mean big story. 4 home runs last night for Julio Daniel Martinez, also known as JD. What a night, Gibby.
Yeah, you notice by the end of the night there, all the Dodger fans are gone. JD put him to sleep. 18th player with 4 dingers.
Pretty impressive.
Melky Cabrera.
Well, the Tigers go to the bullpen now. It's going to be Blaine Hardy coming out of the pen.
Blaine threw just the other day, 25th game right here. He's trying to shut him down. See the fastball slider. He's got the good change.
Strike called on Melky Cabrera, the first man he will face.
Just to finish that thought on JD Martinez and the 4 homers, guys, he hit 4 homers off 4 different pitchers. That's amazing.
It is.
You know, it's one thing to get 4 in a night, but you're right, 4 different guys.
And he hit a home run in the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. What did JD have, a 3-homer game with us on Father's Day a few years ago?
Yep.
Probably didn't hit 3 home runs off a BP pitcher in a row. Huh? That's incredible.
The 0-2.
I think that's harder to do than throwing a perfect game. There's only been 18 in the history of this great game.
I think you're right. I think, well, the numbers bear it out. There have been more of those than 4-homer games.
How do you think he fell at the plate, Rod?
Oh, really good.
I mean, just think of it. Sometimes they say it looks like a watermelon.
He probably slept at Dodger Stadium last night.
Man alive. Dodgers still scrambling, aren't they?
They are. They've lost a lot of games lately.
Now the 1-2. He thinks the Dodgers will be okay.
Well, they've got Kershaw, and if they can get Darvish straightened out, they've got that Wood kid, and they're going to be all right.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Kershaw, he's not going to lose very many games, and he was dominant in his first game back. He's a true stopper.
You know, I did something on the pregame show today, guys, and I took a look at the potential starting aces of all the potential playoff teams. I mean, there's Cy Young Award winners galore. I mean, it's a really good list of guys.
2-2 is popped up. It'll be Kinsler in the outfield grass for the catch.
What was your top rotation, Rod?
Well, I think Washington Nationals have the best rotation overall, Kurt, with Kershaw, and then you have Gio Gonzalez, and you also have Strasburg. So I think that's the best rotation. But take a look at all these aces. Verlander for Houston. You know where Sale is at. Kluber, Maxwell, Arrieta, Greinke, Kershaw, and Strasburg. But look at all the Cy Youngs. And you could take it a step further as well. You got Porcello in Boston. You got Price in Boston. They've won Cy Youngs as well. I could not remember, Mario, Gibby, a year where you had this many aces. I mean, legitimate aces going in the postseason.
Yeah, I like Cleveland's rotation. They're pretty hot right now as well. Trevor Bauer's come on quite a bit. Carrasco throws the ball well.
That's a good pick.
Trevor Bauer's won 15 games.
He's got some lights out stuff, man. They believed it for a long time. And Gibby, you probably saw him when he was in Arizona. If his light ever came on, he would be special.
Yeah, we had him, and I think not sure they thought that he would remain healthy. And he got moved on, and it's taken him some time, but he's got some quirks, but he's a gamer.
Chopper up the middle, and Iglesias will flip to Kinsler for the force. That'll end the inning. No runs, a walk. 1 man left. Time for a Chrysler game break, and we're talking about Trevor Bauer. Did you see the little exchange he had last night with Avi Garcia?
Yeah, I did see that last night. He told him to get back in the box after Avi Garcia was barking about the fact that Bauer would not throw him any fastball. So Bauer said, get back in the batter's box. He threw him a breaking ball, and then he struck him out, and he reminded him, you get 3 strikes, now you got to go sit down.
He just waved to the dugout twice.
It's funny, you know, I heard his comments after the game, and I thought it was hilarious. I really did. But when I initially saw that, I said, well, if you're Trevor Bauer, you're having a good year. The baseball gods are going to get you if you continue to tell people to go sit down. He's a grown man.
But it was funny, though. I think the comments he made, you know, he took it like a trooper after he struck out. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, he did.
It seems like Garcia played along pretty good, actually, as well. I think he realized that he brought part of it on himself, but that's going to be a confrontation to watch for years.
Well, it's a good thing for Bauer, and that he didn't put his teammates in a bad situation. Garcia could have very easily wanted a confrontation, and the last thing you want is guys like Lindor and Ramirez and all their players running in there in some kind of a fight.
That's what it looked like Santana told him when he tried to settle him down, saying, look, man, we don't need any ruckus here. Trevor Cahill on a wall side windows change as Jeimer Candelario leads it off for the Tigers.
Trevor Cahill, he got some type of movement on his pitches. You got to make him get it over the plate. Start him off with the sinker.
And when Cahill came up with the Oakland Athletics, he was outstanding. He had that power sinker. He also had a nice changeup and a breaking ball. Then he kind of lost his way for a little while until he resurfaced last year in Chicago and was tremendous for the Chicago Cubs down the stretch.
Yeah, he just lost his confidence. We had him in Arizona. Couldn't throw the ball over the plate. But he's got great movement. As good a sinker as you'll ever see. But like you say, Rod, he's revived and thrown the ball well again.
Recently off the DL with a shoulder impingement. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Candelario's out of there, 1 gone.
Pretty good changeup right there. Candelario hit the double on a fastball. They switched up on it a little bit. You see him turn it over. Look at that movement down, and Jeimer out front. Little lesson there, huh, Rod?
Yeah, absolutely. You saw Jeimer kind of shake his head, kind of like, okay, I remember I saw that 3-2 changeup.
Alex Presley. That'll dive in for a strike.
You remember the progression always when you get to be a pro. You got to prove you can hit the fastball first, and then they figure that out. And once you prove that, then they go to the off-speed pitches, and it turns into high heaters and off-speed pitches down in the zone. And then you progress on from there.
Kind of sounds like my career. I really had no problem hitting fastballs first couple of years. Then I started seeing college kids with sliders, and I'm like, what is that? I had no idea what a slider was. You didn't see those in high school, but then they sent me down to Mexico after my 2nd year in pro ball, and I learned how to hit the breaking ball down in Mexico.
I remember the screwball from, was it Mike Norris? Boy, that was a new one, because you'd learn how to hit the slider, and then all of a sudden he's turning it around, turning it over, it's going the other way. I never saw that before.
Yeah, that was Fernando Valenzuela.
Yep, Fernando, he did it too.
Presley drove in a run in the Tigers' 7-run second, I should say, with a single. They'll slap that one foul.
As a matter of fact, my first year that I went down to Mexico in winter ball, I went down there several years. But the first season was the 1980 season, and that was the year before Fernando had his breakout season. And I faced him in Mexico, and I thought he was the best left-handed pitcher I'd ever seen in my life.
Really?
This is before he was Fernando.
Right.
Before Fernando Mania.
In '81 he came up, and that was the strike year as well, 51 days on strike, so that was an interrupted, but he followed that up after we resumed play.
3-2, and he walked him. 1 on and 1 out. By the way, Greek Heritage Night is September 18th when the Tigers battle the Oakland A's at 7:10 p.m. Get a special Greek Heritage Night t-shirt when you purchase a ticket package at tigers.com/Greek. You guys, we ought to head down to Greektown after the ball game.
What's your go-to meal down there?
It's been a while since. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I was there earlier this year. I can't remember what I got.
Saganaki.
Well,
Octobadaki.
oh, that's good. You got any more?
I go for the lamb chops.
What about you, Rod?
Where's that, downtown?
Yeah, Greektown.
Greektown.
Pizzapopolis.
Nice. 0-2 on Jones. (7-1). Tigers have a lead as we play here in the third. Swing and a miss. And Jacoby's out of there. Cahill with his second strikeout. That'll bring up Jose Iglesias.
All that movement on those pitches, you're not going to run probably being up this many runs. But a good guy to try and get a bag on. Hard for the catcher to get a clean catch on it. And Jacoby goes down. Uh-oh. Good little Caesars right there.
Absolutely. That's outstanding as well.
The best. Run some of that up here, if anyone's listening.
Yeah, we're ready for snacks early tonight.
Yeah, we are. We had a delay early as Sanchez was taken out of the game. Miles Jane needed some time to warm up. Getting hungry.
Time for a whooper.
A what?
Whooper.
Not sure I want to know what that means.
It's a candy. You ever heard of a whooper?
You mean a Whopper?
Does he mean Whopper?
I call them whoopers. give me one of those, Chuck.
Rod, have you ever heard of a Whooper?
No, he's trying to invent a new candy or something.
Big
I've heard of Whoppers.
They're called Whoppers, not Whoopers.
No.
You got
Go
it?
ahead.
All right.
This is what you got to be. You have to be an analyst. You got your stopwatch.
And
Got your whoopers.
No, they're Whoppers.
I said they're whoopers. And there's a full moon in about a half a month.
Oh my goodness.
He's losing up here, Rod.
Oh, absolutely.
2-2.
Nice block here by Perez. He says he doesn't try to catch the ball. He says he just tries to get his body in front of it, kind of shuffle it out with his glove. He does a nice job there keeping that ball in front of him.
Yeah, he keeps that body square so that ball ricocheted right out front where he can pick it up.
Ooh, man, that thing hooked inside. Iglesias thought he might get hit. 3-2 on Iggy. 1 on, 2 out, 7-1. Tigers have the lead. Runner goes line to left field. Going to get down, a base hit. Presley will go to third base and stop there, and Iglesias with a single. First and third now for Kinsler.
The second baseman, Ian Kinsler.
6-game streak now for Iggy. Kinsler a single and a run scored. Tigers now have 7 hits in this game. Cahill spins one up there for a strike. Ian came in just 2 for 20 on the homestand, but he singled, scored ahead of the home run by Matuk in the 7-run frame. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Both teams going to the bullpen early tonight, but for very different reasons. Sanchez knocked out of the game with an injury, and Vargas gave up 7 runs in the second. The 1-1.
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Vargas was 12-2 at the trade deadline, basically, in an all-star. And I think Dayton Moore probably felt like he had a guy that could help them get to the postseason the remainder of the season. But boy, has he struggled lately.
Yes, he has. And the scouts didn't see it. Huh, Rod? Must not have been convinced that that was the answer.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm sure that Dayton Moore, if he'd have known, and obviously he does not have a crystal ball, had he known that Vargas would struggle so badly in the second half. He may have gone out and gotten another starter.
Grounded at third, right at Moustakas, and that'll end the inning. Tigers threaten to leave a couple, still 7-1 times. Here as we go to the top of the fourth inning, and tomorrow catch Major League Baseball on FS1 as the Royals slug it out against the Tigers. Don't miss Tigers Royals tomorrow 7 Eastern. You'll catch the game on FS1, and if you do so, you will catch this face right here. It's Tom Verducci who will be on the telecast tomorrow. And Tom, I want to talk to you about the Tigers end of it now, and from a national perspective. And you know, obviously things have changed dramatically. The landscape has here in Detroit, but nationally, what do you think the thought is about the Upton deals and the Verlander deal?
Two things. I think first of all, the Tigers made the right decisions to move on based on where they're at right now. And second of all, I think they did well on the trades. I think especially on the Verlander trades. You know, you guys know that you talk about building a team or rebuilding a team. In this case, be strong up the middle. Three really nice pieces who could be playing in the middle of the field for Detroit.
Salvador Perez leading it off here as the Royals bat in the fourth inning, facing Blaine Hardy. I think there was a lot of surprise that Verlander was actually dealt, because I think the narrative was we're going to have to wait till the offseason to trade JV, and all of a sudden, what do you think clicked in Houston's mind to make that deal right at the deadline? There's Kinsler making the play, one gone.
Well, I wonder if some of that was the reaction within the clubhouse when the Astros did not make a deal on the July 31st deadline. And it was certainly, you know, Josh Reddick and Dallas Keuchel very outspoken about being disappointed and unhappy about it. And I think that played a factor a little bit. I think the other things to me really is Keuchel, he pitched well last night, but has not been on point. Lance McCullers just getting back off the DL. This is a team too good not to fix what I think has been a flaw the entire season, and that is starting pitching.
There's a bouncer to first base, gobbled up there by Hicks, and there are two gone.
Tom, do you think people kind of base some of their evaluation on past years when maybe the environment was a little bit different, when you were getting better players back? So do they say make big leaguers for big leaguers?
I agree. I think especially, Gibby, as it relates to position players. For some reason, the market, whether it's free agency or trade market, has really collapsed for position players. I think even going back to the trade for J.D. Martinez, you see how well he's played for Arizona. The Jay Bruce deal with the New York Mets. Middle of the order hitters are not bringing back as much as they did even 5 or 10 years ago. I think that speaks to how much offense, especially power, home runs, are in the game today.
As well as picking up salary, it seems to be the thing not to do nowadays.
That's always key. And Again, I think that's why I like what the Tigers have done, because I've always said the worst place to be as a franchise is the middle of the road, where you're neither good enough to make the playoffs unless everything goes perfectly, or you're not rebuilding. You know, that 82, 83 win area you want to stay out of.
Down goes Moss via the strikeout. Quick 1, 2, 3 innings. Stick around another half, Tom.
You got it.
All right, we'll be back. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at the ballpark, and Menards brings you the big money encounter, looking at some upcoming free agents for the Royals in the offseason. Now, Vargas among them, but Tom Verducci, there are some big-time names on this list. It'll be really interesting to see how the offseason shakes out for the Royals, because obviously they went for it instead of trading some of these pieces away, but that was the chance I think they had to take.
I agree. I think they did the right thing. This team's been together a long time, winning pedigree. You ride it out for as long as you can, and obviously this team will look very different. That guy right there, Eric Hosmer, to me, Moustakas huge year. I think Hosmer is a key for me, what kind of market he has. You know, I'm sure it'll be a good one, but again, we talked about the market for position players not being great. And it's tough to find a lot of openings at first base around the big leagues. He'll find one for sure.
Mikey Mott took the batter, and he looks at a strike, 2-1.
Hey, Tom, Rod Allen here. With that being said, talking about the potential free agents that Kansas City has, do you think that Kane might do okay due to the fact that he's a 5-tool player and not necessarily having a great year this particular season? It might allow the Royals to retain him, or if he goes out, some team might look at his athleticism.
I do think that's a great point, Rod, because I think the evaluations now are based on all-around ability. You see defenders like Jason Hayward and Alex Gordon making big-time money that I don't think the offensive would have made that kind of money 10 years ago.
Matuk is going to be safe at first base on a ball that got away from the catcher, Perez. Mikey got a late jump, but was able to beat it out. Yeah, strikeout and a wild pitch. Mikey all right? Pulled up a little bit at first base.
Yeah, he spun around kind of awkwardly. He didn't realize it went to the net, to the screen. And Trevor Cahill's got great movement on his pitches. This can happen. You got to be awake, and he turns around. Looks like he jams his ankle a little bit.
And very seldom do you see Salvador Perez go at a ball with his glove turned that way. He always anticipates that sinker or the changeup or breaking ball is going to be down, and he turns the glove the opposite way and gets in front of it. But he did not do it that time.
Here is Nick Castellanos, a single and a fly ball in this game for Nick. And Cahill works home a strike, 0-1. When you look at these free agents, Tom, how many of these realistically are the Royals going to be able to keep, you think, this offseason?
I think a maximum of one, really. But I think there is a chance one will be back. Who that is, I'm not sure.
Runner goes. Perez will throw. Tag, not in time. A stolen base for Matuk.
I mean, it's my pick. I think it's got to be Eric Hosmer. He's just too good over there, and he's developed into such a good player. And kind of more of the franchise face. And Mikey Matuk with a good jump right here. It is 7-1, but Royals have come back before. How about that old one? The old tale. When it's too many runs to steal.
Yeah, it's changed, hasn't it?
Well, because teams with the home runs, the way they fly out of the ballpark nowadays, they can come back. So 7-1, he goes in the 4th inning. It used to be, what, 6 runs after 6 innings?
After 6, yeah. We're still so early in this game. I have no problems with that at all. I'm sure the Royals don't.
Went around, and the count is 1-2 now on Nick.
Hey, Gibby, you bring up a great point talking about Eric Hosmer and the way that he can defend at first base and his power and his ability to hit for average. But I don't know if the Royals have enough money to keep him. He's also represented by Scott Boras, and so is Moustakas. And the last time I checked, there are no free agent friendly deals given by Scott Boras.
Here's the 1-2. Rolled the third base foul.
Well, you got to believe that's probably where they're going to start, and they're going to have talks with more than one of the players as it goes along, and it may get to the point where somebody jumps at it. They're the taker, that they're going to be on the team. But it takes time to let these things play out.
Well, I'm with you. I think that's the approach they'll take. Dayton Moore learned a lot from John Sherholtz in Atlanta, not to be anybody's stalking horse. Don't get involved in these long, drawn-out negotiations. And Scott is famous for keeping his guys out there for a long time to let the market kind of simmer. But I think Kansas City's in a position, put an offer out there early, see if a player will jump at it, whether it's one or two of them. Otherwise, you've got to move on with the business of putting a team together for next year.
1-2 on Castellanos. Tigers up 7-1. We're chatting with Tom Bertucci, who will be on the telecast tomorrow night on FS1 here in Detroit. Moustakas on the backhand there, and Castellanos has one gone.
So talking about unwritten rules, old time, new time. You walked in here and asked me the question about the Yankees Boston. Let's talk about that.
Sign stealing.
I always felt it was legal if you can steal it. If I'm smart enough to steal it from second and I can relay it, I felt that was clean. But they went to extremes over there, didn't they?
Yeah, it is totally within the boundaries of the game to steal signs, except when you use electronic devices. That is against the rules, and the Red Sox apparently had the use of an Apple Watch to relay signs. What was happening was, since we've gone to instant replay, they've outfitted all the teams with monitors near the dugout for their replay personnel so that they can decide quickly whether to challenge or not. Well, that feed now is live. It's the first time we've had a live feed in the area of the dugout. So, yeah, that will help expedite replay procedures, but it's also a dangerous tool for teams because you can see the signs. So what the Red Sox were doing was the replay personnel person was relaying the signs via the Apple Watch to the dugout and then out to the players on the field.
And they caught him clean, right?
Yeah, the Yankees were the ones who alerted MLB. They actually had video footage from their coverage of games up in Boston a couple of weeks ago, and they saw what was going on, checking the Apple Watch, alerting the players, especially when there was a runner on second base. He could relay to the batter at the plate what was coming.
Popped up right side of the infield. It'll be Merrifield to the grass, and McCann is out.
But as you know, Gibby, it's a big part. It's been a part of the game, not Apple Watches, believe me, but trying to steal signs. Years ago, there was a third base coach for the Phillies who, during a rainstorm, stayed in the same spot in the coach's box at third base with his foot actually in a puddle, but wouldn't move. And the other team had, something's up here. Why is this guy not moving? Well, it turns out there was a box buried under the ground. His foot was on a buzzer, so he could feel when a fastball or curveball was coming. The year this happened, 1899.
Wow.
That's how long this stuff's been around in the game.
That's good stuff. Well, a lot of guys don't like the signs because they figure they get them too late. But Vada Pinson used to relay them to Alex Grammas, and then he would move really late for me. I needed it. I wasn't a good hitter like Rod and Alan Trammell and guys like that. And it's what you got to do sometimes. These guys are pretty darn good.
Tom, I want to get your take on instant replay. Can you have instant replay and expedited pace of play in the same game of baseball?
It does seem like it's a contradiction, right? I think.
That ball drilled high in the air to center field. Lorenzo Cain going back, still going back, and that ball is going to carry out and gone. John Hicks gets into the party action here with a long home run, a 2-run shot. And that is his 5th of the year. The Tigers pouring it on now 9-1.
Trevor Cahill just gets a sinker up in the zone, middle in. John Hicks, he's got some pop, he's got some back speed. Lorenzo Cain didn't go very far. This one's cleanly over the fence. Good to see the Tigers smiling.
They have their 3rd home run of the game. That'll bring up Candelario now with the bases empty.
How about a solo shot here? We played this little game. Are you familiar with it? It's called Pick to Stick. This happens to be my guy. So the bases are all cleaned up by Mr. Hicks.
He got you a couple of ribbies early on.
Yes, he did. 4 points.
Well, here are the picks tonight, Tom. Who would you line up with? Who are you with tonight?
Wow. I see what you did there. Well, I like Candelario. I'm excited about his game.
That was the last pick today. I'll be, well, Rod, you'll be first the next time around. That'll be Thursday in Toronto.
I appreciate that, Mr. Gibson. I'll try to keep us there. Had a nice conversation with Jamer today. He moved back to the Dominican Republic at about age 5. His father was a minor league pitcher, and they opened up a baseball academy down there, and he said he worked with his father. His father taught him how to switch hit at age 5, and he says he loves hitting left-handed, loves hitting right-handed. He's also doubled from both sides of the plate in this particular series, but good-looking young player.
Got him looking there to end the inning, and Tom will send you off. I know we got to get you to work on tomorrow night's prep. Good luck tomorrow night, FS1.
You got it. Thanks guys.
Tom. Nice work.
Something to smile about, and if you missed it earlier today, the ribbon cutting ceremony. Little Caesars Arena is officially in business, and boy, what a great scene downtown Detroit today.
It's a big project. Rick Snyder, the governor, was there. See Marion right there. That's a big project to handle for the Ilitch family, and they've done a great job, and everybody's excited to go down and catch an event down there. Is the Kid Rock concert the first thing?
I believe so, yeah. That's coming up, right?
I think that's like next Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah.
And this week is preview week. You can go down and check out the building. Sign up for some of the events.
Alcides Escobar leading it off here in the 5th inning. Well, the whole district Detroit, I mean, we've got a tour from Chris Illich about really a great overview of what is going to be contained in District Detroit and all of the restaurants and shops and hotels and, of course, Little Caesars Arena right smack dab in the middle of it. Tremendous rebirth for this city. Here's a swing and a miss as Escobar goes fishing. One away. We check in now with Matt Shepard.
All right, Mario, thanks. A very special day in downtown Detroit, and Troy Smith and his. A little bit about your tour. How much did you enjoy Little Caesars Arena?
Oh, it was unbelievable. You can see why the Red Wings are a marquee franchise in the NHL. The facilities are obviously second to none, and for our young guys here to experience that and see what it's like at the next level was we're very fortunate to have that opportunity.
Brady Gilmore is a Red Wings draft pick, 7th round this season. I know you couldn't help but think, will I be playing here one day, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially today, visiting all the facilities and stuff. I mean, it'd be awesome to one day play there, but just keep working hard, and hopefully one day a dream could come true.
What impressed you most about the tour of Little Caesars Arena?
I mean, I think it's just cool, all the history there. I mean, you walk through the Wall of Fame, you see all the great players that have played there, and it's just really cool walking through that whole building.
Coach, why is it a good thing for your young players, and they're 16 to 20 in the Ontario Hockey League, why is it a good thing for them to see something like that, do you think?
I think it's good for them to set goals. We were lucky that Chris Draper was the one taking us through, and they can see a guy that, you know, obviously forged out a long career by, you know, doing things the right way. And just, you know, when you see their lounge where they got the full-time chef, the idea where you have to eat properly, and then their workout facilities on top of that, it shows that, you know, you really have to be fully committed to this to become an NHL player.
Their season is right around the corner. Your season is right around the corner. How much are you anticipating it, and what can we expect of the Spirit this year?
We're really excited. Our home opener is the 23rd against London, and we're a young team, but we're going to be really exciting to watch. We've got 10 players that are eligible for the draft this year, so it's going to be a process, but I think we'll be a fun team.
We know you're in your first year. Welcome to Michigan. Good luck to you. And Brady, good luck to you, too, as you get ready to embark on what you hope will be a long and prosperous professional career. Of course, Chris Osgood, our friend, with Red Wings broadcast, and Jimmy DiVolano own their franchise. The Saginaw Spirit opening at home on the 23rd. 2 nights before, they'll be on the road. We wish them the best of luck. Mario, back to you.
All right, Shep, great stuff. And I loved what Brady said about walking into Little Caesars Arena and just seeing all the history that is going to be on display there. And boy, the Wings history is deep, to be sure. It'll be a great arena, great venue. Meanwhile, 2 gone now for Whit Merrifield. Blaine Hardy came into this game in the 3rd. The Tigers getting some good work out of the bullpen that was pressed into duty tonight when Sanchez left one batter in this game with an injury. Merrifield cuts and misses.
If nothing else, if Hardy can slow down the bats of Hosmer and Moustakas, and you turn Melky Cabrera around to the right side, you might have a chance. And it looks like they're going to have a chance to hold on to this lead, but I think it was by design that Brad went to Hardy here.
Yeah, it was a good choice with all the numbers. Melky is much better against the right-handers. Hosmer is certainly not as good against the lefty. Salvador Perez, he looks a little different to me, Rod. It looks like he's hurt or something.
Well, he's got that. He was out for a little bit with a side injury, and I believe he came back a little bit too soon. They said he came back too soon, and he just does not look like the same guy right now, but he knows what's at stake. It's only 3 weeks to go in the season, and he wants to be out there for his teammates.
0-2 on Merrifield.
But he's not having as much fun as we normally see Salvador Perez having, not smiling nearly as much as he usually smiling. It's kind of like Miguel Cabrera. And we kind of know when Miggy's feeling good.
In the air toward left field. On the move is Matuk, and Mikey runs it down. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Blaine Hardy. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Here's the showstopper. If you've been keeping up with what's going on with Giancarlo Stanton, how about this one? Not only did he homer, but he ruined some equipment.
He broke the lens. Calling the text. Those are about 50 G's.
Nice.
Walk it out, walk a new one in.
So now is Stanton going to pay for that?
No.
Didn't think so.
You know, back in '88, Jose Canseco did that in the World Series. Hit a camera. I don't think he broke the lens though, but Giancarlo, when he hit some, boy, he bombs.
Stan's been putting on a show, man. He's just hitting home run after home run, and he should get to 60 with the pace he's got going now.
And something else he does, he always breaks up stuff. Lights, I mean, as far as he hits balls, he puts out lights, hits scoreboards. This guy's done a lot of damage.
Yeah, he hits them so far. Presley, Jones, Iglesias here in the Tigers' fifth. 9-1, the Tigers have the lead, mostly thanks to a 7-run second inning. And they've hit 3 home runs in this game. Presley a single, a walk, and an RBI in this contest. Drill to center field. Kane is on the run, still going back, and he'll track it down. One gone.
All right.
Time now for the AT&T reliability stat of the game. As you look at the pace that Stanton's on.
Well, pace with Roger Maris. He's got 53 right now. Maris to 61 home runs. Held that record until 1998. A couple guys broke it, didn't they? That year.
McGuire, Sosa. Here's Jacoby Jones. Little chopper to the shortstop, Escobar. And Jones is out, 2 gone.
You know, Rod, when guys hit home runs long like that, there's a certain sound that comes off their bat, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's a certain sound that comes off their bat, and from a hand standpoint, as a hitter, you don't even feel balls when they hit your bat when you hit them that far.
My sound that I remember most is when Barry Bonds used to hit the ball.
Well, I watched him for 5 years when I was broadcasting games for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and there was no hitter that I've ever seen do as much damage with getting one pitch to hit during every game. All he got was one pitch, and he wouldn't miss it. They'd walk him 3 times intentionally. They'd decide to pitch him to him 1 time, and he would hit a home run.
And he had that little short bat, and he'd stand right on the plate.
And he'd choke up. He was the only left-hander that did not dodge Randy Johnson. Everybody else, Larry Walker, Todd Helton, you name it, they got days off. JT Snow, but he did not duck him at all.
Iglesias drills this one down the line. Is it fair or foul? It is fair, and it's gone, a homer. Jose Iglesias with his career-high 6th home run of the year. Tigers putting on a show tonight. That is their 4th home run of the evening.
For a little guy, Iglesias really has that home run trot down, doesn't he, Gibby?
Yeah, he likes it. Everybody likes to hit him, and this is no doubter. Another sinker just right down the middle. Iglesias has been swinging a hot bat second half of the season off the foul pole.
We have seen a ton of Tiger home runs this year hit the foul pole. I know JD did it at least twice. I mean, excuse me, Justin.
One of those was a grand slam, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, Kinsler is up there now. The Tigers lead 10-1. And they have 9 hits on the evening. Kehill spins one up there up high. 2-0. Iggy now with 6 homers and 52 RBIs. Without a home run, the Tigers are just 5-38. When they homer, they are a different team. 2-2 now on Ian. Tigers have gone deep 4 times for the 4th time this year in a game. Little chopper to the shortstop, Escobar. And Kinsler is out by half a step. It was close.
I want to check that.
All right, Rod, we'll see you at the postgame show. Thanks, buddy.
All right, fellas.
Okay, Detroit.
Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And it's the Chevy Labor Day sales event right out the summer. And a new Chevrolet. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. It has been all Tigers in this one here tonight. Wayne State night here at the ballpark. Got a wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stump is on now for the Tigers.
43rd game for Daniel. He's done pretty well. 2.76 ERA.
Hardy did good work. Scoreless 2 2/3. And he retired 8 straight. Now Stump facing Lorenzo Cain. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for KC. Cain looks at a strike, 0-1. 10 runs, 9 hits for the Tigers to run on just 2 hits for the Royals, who jumped out to a 1-0 lead, but it has been all Tigers since. 0-2 now on Lorenzo. Cain, a couple of walks, one in the first, one in the third. Now Stump with the 0-2. Ooh, backed him out of there, made him move his feet.
Nice pitch there. Oh-2 pitch, this is good. You want to come in, keep them honest, move their feet down low. That's a safe way to have an impact towards this pitch there. He almost swung at that. You know, it was an interesting point that Rod was bringing up about the Royals. They're talking about all their free agents, how they can keep, who they can keep, who they can't keep. You can make an argument for Lorenzo Cain for sure. But we've been talking about the Tigers and their process. And how long will may that take, and who may be coming and going. And you know, we're going to show you a couple of slides here. It's based on many things when you think about rebuilding a team.
High towering fly ball to left field. That ball tattooed. Matuk going back to the wall, and so is Jones, who tries to snatch it away but can't do it.
Lost his glove.
Cain stopped running between first and second, thinking that ball was caught, but it's out of here A home run for Lorenzo Cain. Jacoby went flying through the air.
Yeah, he didn't let up at all. Boy, he gave you 100% effort, even though it's 10-1, now 10-2. Cain finally connects on one of those back leg swings. Listen to the fans. That was a good effort right there. Look at that. Laying out, putting it all on the line.
14th home run of the season for Cain.
So you're gonna rebuild. They've talked about rebuilding. So there's a couple things you got to consider: the talent that you have, both current and into your system. How you can balance your roster. The Tigers, for instance, are a little right-handed right now. How are you going to Comerica-ize, I call it, your roster? The roster rules as well. So this is the current Tigers right now that are here. The bullpen. These are what we know that are here. And there's roster rules. Who's certain have to be on the roster. Some have to go off the roster because after you go to a certain time, you have to put a guy on the 40-man roster. So those guys will move a little quicker. So you can kind of see we built a little depth chart here. You can read along while we're watching the game. Candelario is already here. Iglesias, Machado, Kinsler. Now, who's going to stay and who's going to be gone? Like the last time this happened with the Tigers, it was 3 years. They started basically in 2003. They lost 119 games. They were in the World Series in 2006. Now, I think that it's not going to take that long, or doesn't have to take that long, because of some of the trades that Alavila has made, kind of taking away some of the constraints that money issues might have. I think the Tigers will want to sit in about $150 to $170 million range of a payroll. They were up around 200, so thus you have Al doing this work to get the payroll so he can make some moves. An example, Iglesias. Now he's, I believe, going to get to the point where he goes to arbitration, and they're going to have to start paying him more money, so they'll have to make a decision on, is he a guy that they're going to keep? He's played great for him. Does he have more value in bringing guys back? Ian Kinsler, a veteran guy. They've got him signed to pretty good money, but if he has, that's just an example right here. Presley's had a good year. Castellanos, we got him out in right field. Mikey Matuk's had a good year. Jacoby Jones is just coming back. He maybe didn't come as far. And the big one is the rotation. Got Fulmer, Zimmerman, Norris, and Boyd. We know that so far. Okay, let's go to the next slide. This is the next guy's coming. I think Gerber will have to be put on the roster. I'm not sure. Christian Stewart, he's come up out of the 2015 draft. He's hit everywhere. Can he play left field? A.J. Simcox. Lugo, pretty good looking third baseman as well. So now we've got two third basemen over here in the bullpen. You got Jimenez, Joe, Labor, and Garcia, all guys that are pretty close. They're pretty close. They're gonna be here. Let's look at the starters over the mound. I've watched Baez throw. He throws high 90s. He's got great stuff. Secondary stuff has to come. Bo Burrows, dominating stuff as well. Long, we just got in the trade with that was with Jay Up. Picacello's been in the system for a while, and you've got Griner as the catcher. Okay, so let's just go one step further. This is a couple years down the road. They could come quicker. Foley and Marino, relievers that I've watched. Foley throws 100 miles an hour. Marino high 90s. Both have had good years. See, they're loaded. All the outfielders here, all are very athletic, run and get the ball, which I think is smart in Comerica Park. Paredes, I love him at shortstop. Perez, we just got him out of the Houston trade. And the #1 pick, Manning. He's a guy, he's in West Michigan right now. He's a couple years away. I got Blaze Salter. Oh, by the way, we got a couple local guys here. How'd they get in there? So that was quick. What do you got to add to that, Mario?
Hosmer lines it foul. Well, you know, you mentioned the Tigers were in the World Series in 03 and then in 06 after the rebuild started in 03. Now, how did the Tigers start that rebuild. I think you could make the argument they started that rebuild with, well, getting free agents. You know, you talk about getting Pudge here and Maglio and all those guys. It's going to be a little bit different this time, but that doesn't mean it has to take longer. I think a lot of these kids are really talented.
I think they have more talent existing right now, and they've reloaded the minor leagues. So when you do that is you're trying to get more hits. Okay, these kids that are younger, many of these kids, they're great talent. They have a lot of ability. They're athletic. So the more of them you have in your system, the more you're going to hit on. And they are going to look for free agents. They are going to try and pick guys up. Maybe a guy like Ian Kinsler is a guy who does stay here, or there's another guy that has experience, had an off year. They find a guy like that. You have to have a mix of veterans, people who have been here a short time. Like, look at Nick Castellanos. He's a guy already showing a lot of leadership since Verlander's gone. B-Mart hasn't been here. J-Up is gone. So you just got to continually mix it up, and tweak it as it goes and what's available. But you have to have the flexibility to do it, and I think Alavila with his moves has done that.
Yeah, that's the key, having the flexibility. And when you look at all the contracts the Tigers have kind of moved here, whether it's Verlander or Upton, that does give them flexibility to do some things. But I think in the end, you're right. I think it's the talent that you acquire. Now it's also cultivating that talent, player development, and the scouting that continues. The #1 choice this year was Alex Faedo. You hope that he gets to the big leagues fairly soon. He was a college kid. So Al told us the other night, it's going to happen as quickly as the players allow it to happen in terms of how quickly they develop. And I think I agree with that.
Well, today, the Major League Club is not as good as it was a couple weeks ago, okay? But the minor leagues is much better. It's been restocked. They have many more position players that are ranked and are better, and they're more athletic. And they give the Tigers a chance to rebuild from men. And you're always hoping that you have an impact player who comes out of your organization. And by doing what the Tigers have done, they put themselves in a much better position to do so. And that's what I got to say about it.
Well, it was a good tutorial on the depth chart of the Tigers and their minor league system and what could be coming in the coming years.
Now, there's a lot of people we left out, okay?
Of course.
I've been around the minor leagues somewhat, and I've watched some. These are a lot of the players that I've watched, and we've talked a little bit. We did it fairly quickly. We'll continue to refine it as the year goes on, and we'll save this slide and we'll show it later in the year, and we get into next year, and we'll just keep updating it, see how it works out.
Well, I do know this: the Tigers' top 10 has taken on a transformation. It looks a whole lot different, the minor league top 10, than it did at the beginning of this year, and a lot of that has to do with the good young talent that they've acquired with these veterans going the other way.
Well, and I think Rod was talking about you're building up the middle, so you have to have depth at catcher. I think they believe James McCann is a catcher of the present and the future.
That's popped up third base side for Candelario, and they'll finally get rid of Hosmer. He's retired. Well, here is that top 10 we were talking about in terms of the Tigers minor league system. And right away, Franklin Perez, only 19, pitching at AA, is the #1 prospect.
Well, and you got to look with him. It's going to take him some time to get here because, he's only had 36 innings pitched. So you got to, everybody wants to have a pitcher that can go 200 innings. So part of the process in the minor leagues for pitchers is you got to build their innings up. So you got to get 150 innings out of them at least when they come to the big leagues, I would say, if they're going to be a starter. The one thing the Tigers, the starters, they're probably shorter on starters than they are relievers as far as pure arms. I talked about Bo Burrows. He's at 135 innings pitched, only 124 hits. Sandy Baez, he's got 105 strikeouts and I believe about 90-some innings. These guys they're very good looking, and Grayson Long, we got him. He's just getting into the organization. But Gerson Moreno, he's thrown well. I've watched him over the last couple of years. He's up into the 50 innings pitched as a reliever. High strikeout pitchers, can get the ground ball.
2 balls and 1 strike on Perez. One of the names that everybody talks about is Matt Manning, who was, until Perez was acquired, was the by many accounts top prospect in the minor league system.
I think he's just got over 50 innings pitched this year. Again, he's a high school guy, #1 pick. And it's just going to take him some time. And we've got some video. He had 9 or 10 strikeouts. He's pitching for the Whitecaps. One of the things you look for when these kids are progressing through the organization, he came up and got his butt kicked. Okay, now he's turned it around. He's starting to figure it out. And he's got a little bit of moxie about himself. He's competing. And he's got good stuff. You can see big, tall guy, big lever. They project him to fill out. A lot of organizations believe in those starters have good frames on them, fill out, can continue to just kind of come and pound the ball at you all the time. And not only fastball command, but been talking more organizations of their belief in the power curveball, where you really work on the spin rate and you're able to throw that pitch in any count as well.
Manning would start a game 3 in the playoffs for West Michigan if he got that far. There's a swing and a miss. And Perez is out of there. Meanwhile, Stubb has gone to 4 full counts here in this inning, so it's been a lengthy 6th for him. That'll bring up Moustakas. Well, you look at those Astros, I think, as a team that you kind of compare yourself with. They are doing so well this year. They're heading to the postseason. They've been there a couple of times in the last 3 years, and this was a team that lost over 100 games 3 straight years from 2011 to 2013.
And they needed a pitcher, a dominating pitcher. They got Justin Verlander. How'd they do it? They traded 3 prospects that entered our top 10. So again, all the names that you saw on our list, some of them will get traded, and they'll get a piece for the Tigers. So again, that's why it's important to have multiple prospects within your organization, so you can either use them. You got to make the right call on who to keep and who to move.
0-1 on Moustakas. Tigers have a commanding 10-2 lead in this game. That's drilled foul out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Justin Verlander, of course, making the start tonight for the Houston Astros in Seattle. And by the way, he's throwing to a McCann. It's just not James. It's Brian McCann this evening, who is the catcher for the Astros. So I know a lot of folks here in the Motor City are going to be interested in seeing how JV does with the Astros in that first start.
I know he's going to be pumped up.
Up and in, 1-2 the count on Moustakas.
Interesting to watch every inside pitch that's being thrown in this game. Remember what happened the last time the Royals were here? They some tempers flared. I noticed guys maybe making eye contact on pitches inside this whole series. So hopefully nobody will get hit. James McCann got hit earlier. I know Rod and I had a semi-conversation about whether that could have been intentional. Nobody got hurt.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. He struck him out to end the inning as Moustakas leaves the strike zone.
2. Here's the 1-800 call Sam called the game. Last night, Mikey Matuk, who's really been coming on strong for the Tigers, thinks he's got a home run, high fives Omar. Alex Gordon reaches over the fence, but tonight, let there be no doubt, can't get this one to retrieve it. The 2-run home run over the wall. So better results for Mikey tonight. Stayed with it. He's kind of a energetic guy to watch with the camera throughout the day. We've got a lot of good shots, and we'll pass some of them on as we go.
Tigers have a comfy lead here tonight. They will face a new pitcher now. It's going to be Andres Machado for the Royals.
You can see he started 16 of his 29 games, record of 8-9. A lot of strikeouts, 33 walks.
Wayne State night here at the ballpark tonight. Warriors in the house, and they're enjoying a 10-2 Tigers lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and Mikey looks at a strike 0-1.
How do you think we'd look doing those pom-poms?
I don't want to go there.
I know my right pom-pom would be better than my left.
Okay. 0-2.
Do you know why?
Tell me why.
I asked you a question.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
so tell me why.
We'll just drop it. Not going to play it long.
1-2 the count. I'm asking you why.
I just asked you, why. We got some changes. Bonifacio and right, Orlando in center, Cuthbert at third. Butera is now catching.
A hard hit ball for Matuk into center field. Base hit. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player, Nick Castellanos, here in 2017 with 20 homers, 10 triples in his 25 season or younger. Here are the guys that have done it since 2000.
Pretty good group right there.
Here is Castellanos. Tigers now have a total of 10 hits, 10 runs on 10 hits. Nicholas 1 for 3, had a single in the second. There's a ball inside, and the count goes to 1-1. McCann waiting on deck. Tigers open this one up with a 7-run second. And they've hit a total of 4 homers in the ball game tonight. Machado brings it home and is fouled back out of play down the right field line. He has had an interesting road to the major leagues, Mr. Machado. Missed 2015 after undergoing Tommy John surgery, but spent a lot of time at A-ball and really bounced around a lot before he made the quick move this year from A-ball all the way to the big leagues. So for whatever reason this year he was put on the fast track.
Yeah, he must have been throwing the ball very good, and just imagine that. It's so frustrating when you have Tommy John surgery. The rehab, I've watched it many times. It's very tough to go through. Guys get very frustrated. Sometimes they want to quit, and now he's in the big leagues. Just the opposite emotion.
Nick rolls one towards short. Off balance throw is not in time. It'll be an infield hit. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers.
Pretty good try right there. getting down the line good. He's certainly running better. Actually, he usually goes to the right field side of the diamond, and last 2 times has pulled the ball.
Nedio's making a lot of changes here. They are Torres now the new second baseman. Mondesi is the new shortstop. Cuthbert at third. And we told you about the new outfielders, Orlando and Bonifacio. Butera behind the plate. 2 on, nobody out. And McCann skies one toward right field. That ball is slicing foul. Back out of play.
Tell you, this is a good sign to see the Tigers come out and jump on Vargas tonight. Continue to swing the bats good. Give this young group of Tigers confidence. Get on a roll.
Well, they were severely outscored in that series against the Indians. And then beaten yesterday, although they battled back yesterday, but showing some life in this 2-game series against KC. McCann swings and misses.
Just kind of looking back over the teams that we've watched come in here, Mario. It have been really good. Arizona played really well against us here. Dodgers. Houston was really good and showed a lot of talent, a lot of athleticism, and good pitching. And that Cleveland team as well.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes. 1 away here in the 6th. Just like we promised earlier in the game, Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite. And as John Hicks strolls in, he put a whooping on a pitch back in the 4th inning. Driving it deep out of the ballpark. The 3rd of 4 home runs hit tonight by the Tigers. And his 5th of the year. Eleven Tigers hits in this game. Ball 1.
We watched John Hicks in spring training swing the bat well. And really, he went to Toledo for most of the year since Alex Avila's got traded. He's got an opportunity to come up here, and he's got some pop.
When you look forward to the offseason and next year, I think Hicks has definitely made a definitely good impression on the Tigers brass, I would think.
He has, I think, catching wise. I mean, he's an offensive catcher. He's got to continue to work on his blocking and his pitch framing. I think he's done a good job in making some improvement this year, but that's think about worrying about your hitting. I mean, you're a catcher. I mean, you're running that staff every day, and
right.
you're a psychologist, and you have to be really in tune with the other team, your pitchers, how they're throwing, what pitches are going good, and you have to adjust on the fly. You're reading the swings. You have a game plan, but you're reading the swings, and sometimes you have to make a split decision. When do I go away from the game plan?
There's a base hit to center field. That'll get another run in. Castellanos will go to 3rd. Matuk will score, and the Tigers add another. They lead 11-2. Big night for Hicks. Just got a little bit bigger. Time now for the AARP Getting to Know. Jeimer Candelario, one of the newer Tigers. Born in New York City and moved to the Dominican Republic as a child when his dad opened up a baseball facility there. And Candelario making a good first impression here with the Tigers.
And he came out of the Cubs organization and was held back by really Chris Bryant. So he's enjoying the opportunity here.
That's into foul ground, 3rd base side. Cuthbert is under it. Candelario retired. Two gone now. That'll bring up Alex Presley. More action in the Tigers pen. Drew Verhagen warming up. He'll be next. Well, the Tigers doing a masterful job here of leaning on a bullpen that had to come into the game 1 batter into the contest. With Sanchez was hit by a ground ball back to the mound in the calf and had to leave.
I think they did a good job. First of all, you get the lead, that makes it easier. But they've done a good job. Miles J came in right out of the gate, got the call. Down there relaxing, everybody's got their routine. You're probably having your coffee in the first inning, and it went from coffee to get ready, get the spikes going, get the iron moving. And then the rest of the young Tigers have done a good job of coming in and following suit.
Bouncer to second base, gobbled up there by Torres. He'll throw him out. Tigers get another run on the RBI hit by Hicks.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitcher by pitcher. Anibal Sanchez sees one batter, gets hit on the shin, has to come out of the game. Miles J comes in, throws 2 1/3, 1 hit ball. Then Blaine Hardy comes in, does his job. 2 2/3 innings with 3 strikeouts and no walks. And Daniel Stump follows suit as well with an inning. Did give up a run, struck out a couple. So the Tigers bullpen been active tonight and done a pretty good job of holding the Royals down. Tigers still up.
So Verhagen now will face the pinch hitter Jorge Soler, who will get his first at bat, pinch hitting for Brandon Moss. Most of the starters out now for Ned Yost. Numbers on Verhagen. 13th appearance of the year for Drew. Soler was acquired from the Cubs for Wade Davis, and they felt this young man could be a power source for them, but he's not been able to put it together this year in the big leagues. 3rd stint in the majors. He was acquired last December from Chicago. Now when you look at his minor league numbers in the Pacific Coast League, 24 home runs.
Now when you look around leagues, that's another thing about evaluating your talent. Look at power numbers. Pacific Coast League is probably the best league to hit in. You have the higher elevations and the ball carries a lot more. You're going to see more home runs, higher average. So it has not been that easy for him in the big leagues though.
A 4-pitch wonk for Verhagen. Tigers lead 11-2. That'll bring up Mondesi. Good numbers at Omaha this year. Solid .305 average with a little bit of pop. 13 homers. 52 driven in for Mondesi. Ball 1.
Pretty good bloodlines here, Mario. Dad was a pretty good player. One of the rookies of the 5 consecutive Rookie of the Year winners for the Dodgers. Raul Mondesi. Raul. Look at that. It's a pretty good accomplishment there. Karros, Piazza, Mondesi, Nomo, Todd Hollandsworth. That's incredible. 5 in a row, isn't it? They may do it again this year.
5 in a row is almost even unthinkable that you'd be able to have a minor league system provide a guy every single year for that stretch. He went around. Mondesi is out of there. Verhagen with a strikeout.
You know, Drew Verhagen has struggled a little bit since he's been up here, and one of his key pitches is the breaking pitch. So this is a good power break ball. Look at, he's got the grip, goes straight down and into the plate. It's a great 1-2 pitch right there. Get people that are aggressive. That's the pitch. It is full.
Oh, what's going on here? What phase does that moon in, Gibby?
Full.
That's pretty eerie looking there.
Clouds right there.
Is that real, or are we making that up?
That's real. Yeah, don't look at it with your eyes.
Total eclipse of the clouds.
Did you watch? You didn't look at it, did you?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Yeah.
How did it look?
Looked like an eclipse, just like it looked on my computer.
We got another one coming in a few years. I'll just wait for that one.
Yeah.
Another 7
Hope you're
years.
around.
It's only going to be 7 years, I think. Something like that.
The moon today is a waxing gibbous.
Oh boy, here we go. The 0-2 is low, 1 and 2.
For your information, that is when the moon is more than 50% illuminated, but not yet a full moon.
What's it called again?
Waxing gibbous. No relation to me.
Yeah, I mean, the irony there is just it's too rich. The 1-2, low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's visible through most of the night. A few hours before sunrise, it disappears.
Nice. Can't wait. 2-2 on Gordon. One of the few starters still remaining in the game. Hard hit ball right to second. They'll get a double play. Soler doubled up, inning over. No runs, a walk. Nobody left. A hard hit ball right to Kinsler. To Hicks. And the waxing something or other.
Gibbous.
People affected by Hurricane Harvey by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing so, you'll make a $10 donation. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. All Tigers tonight, 11-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers have out hit them 12-3 as well. First one home is a ball low to Jacoby Jones. Well, now Cam Gallagher will come on to catch. And Drew Butera stays in the game. He'll shift to first base. Hosmer out of the game now. There's a ball drilled to left. Way back to the wall. It's gone. A two-homer night for Jacoby Jones. And it's 12-2 Tigers. Man, oh man, the Tigers are going off offensively tonight.
Let's hope it continues. Jacoby Jones hit one earlier in the game to right field, a no-doubter. And he goes left field here. Gets that fastball. You see he's got a quick bat. He does have tools. Just has to learn how to hit the breaking ball a little better. More consistency. Great night. Great to see him having a good night.
Second of the night and third of the season as Machado pops it up and Butera will haul it in. One gone. Machado batting for Iglesias there. Now Romine is going to hit for Kinsler. One, two, three, four, five Tigers homers tonight.
No Victor, no Miggy, no J-Ups. These guys can swing it.
The first time since June of 2016 that the Tigers hit five in a game. And Jacoby go to him. Romine batting for Kinsler here with one out. Ball inside. Two and one now the count. Matuk waiting on deck. And a ball outside. 3-1 now the count. Tigers have to bottle up this production. 12 runs on 13 hits. Chopper first base side. Nice play, Butera. That'll take a hit away from Romine. Two gone.
Pretty good play by Butera right here. Takes a bad hop, comes up, gets his glove up, easily retires Romy.
Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Here's Mikey. He has scored 3 times tonight. He has homered, he has singled. He's also stolen a base.
Didn't he
he'll roll it foul.
Didn't he score after he struck out?
He did. Strikeout, wild pitch, stole a base, and then scored. That was in the 4th.
That doesn't happen very often.
And Mikey initially didn't even see the ball get by the catcher.
He almost tweaked his leg.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2 now on Matuk. Here's the Comerica Bank game summary, and we're going to look at the Tigers in-game box score.
Take a screenshot of that. It's going to take you a while to read it.
There's a whole lot going on there. 5 home runs, the big story tonight for the Tigers.
Who'd you have in stick tonight?
I hit McCann, and
Let's see what he's got. Let's bring that back up.
He got me 1 so far.
Yeah, I was a +4 and down to a +2 now.
Oh, 2. Here's Alex Wilson, who hasn't pitched in a bit, served his 1-game suspension. He's tuning up in the Tigers' pen. Bringing a book to the ballpark. Fouled out of play.
You ever done that?
No.
Where would you take a book other than the airport?
The beach.
The beach?
Oh, yeah. Little lawn chair.
That was like Family Feud right there. You were quick. You were on the buzzer quick.
I was. Beach. The pool.
Dentist. I guess I was the guy that says the stupid one.
You take a book to the dentist?
Yeah, because I don't want to go in. They come out and say, Mr. Gibson. I act like I'm reading. I don't hear him.
Yeah. How does that work out? Mr. Gibson. Please put your book down.
Mr. Gibson, he's not here. Actually, he's got to finish his book.
The 0-2 is rolled foul again by Mikey.
What do you think the #1 answer would be on that? Airport?
Probably. Well, yeah, probably. That or the beach.
Class would be
#1. Class, yeah. Again, the 0-2 up high. Mikey hits the deck. 1-2 the count. Tigers seized command of this game in the second with a 7-run inning. There's another base hit from Matuk. Little soft serve into right field. 2-out single.
Mikey's pulling him, going the other way. This is really good hitting. This kid is coming a long way. Watch how he just doesn't try and pull it. It's a fastball down and away. Look at that length. We talk about that length. Watch how the bat goes out towards right field. Eyes right over there. A lot of times when we talk about in and out of the zone, your hands roll over before you can get to that pitch. Would not be advisable to steal now.
No. That would tend to be frowned upon. With a 12-2 lead this late. Chopped to third base. Cuthbert on the charge and dug out at first by Butera. Inning over. Tigers and another. Jacoby Jones, second long ball of the night. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. It's almost that time of year, Gibby. Apple picking time.
Ooh, the donuts.
Oh,
cider, donuts. In fact, since since I don't have the game tomorrow, I'm thinking I'm going to hit one.
Are you?
Yeah.
Here is Mr. Wilson, Alex Wilson, taking over.
His 60th appearance. Threw good the last time out. Actually got suspended for the fracas with the Yankees. He's back getting some work tonight. He should be fresh.
Ramon Torres leads it off as we go to the 8th. 0-1 the count. Torres took over for Whit Merrifield earlier in the game. Torres loops one in the air towards center field. Jones will play it on a hop, a leadoff single.
Yeah, these lineup card right now, the scorebooks look like spring training.
Yeah, it's a mess. That's all right. It's a good mess because we're up 12-2.
Yeah, I agree.
Machado, the new shortstop, and Mr. Romine stays in at segunda base, as they would say. That's second base.
No kid.
But you knew that. Holiday, the new catcher.
Doc Holiday.
In there, a strike called on Paulo Orlando. .306 this year in the minor leagues. I think it was a couple of years ago that Orlando hit a boatload of triples in the big leagues.
In Kansas City?
Yeah.
That's a good triples ballpark, especially if you get it down to the corner down there. Big in the alleys as well.
That'll dive outside, and the count goes 2-1. That was the 2015 season. He had a total of 6, but they all came really in, I think, about a month's time, if that.
Was it early?
Early on, yeah.
Tapered off after that.
2-1 pitch. A little chopper back up the middle. Machado flips to second. There's one. And safe at first. Orlando can run, so he is aboard.
Yeah, he gets down there pretty good. Machado made sure he got the one out. I mean, you got to lead like this. You've got to make sure you take outs. Though it appears out of line, it could get changed directions.
Tigers take on the White Sox Friday, September 15th at 7:10. First 5,000 fans receive a free watch ad. For tickets, visit tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Here is Bonifacio now with 1 on and 1 out. Little chopper to second base. This could be 2. Kinsler, or I should say Romine. Machado. Oh, he beat it out. Nope. It was close. Real close.
Beat it out.
That one appeared to be hit hard enough that they would be able to turn 2, but
got down there pretty good.
He did. Bonifacio runs down the line. Here is Cam Gallagher. First at bat of the night. Off the end of the bat, 0-2 on Gallagher. Made his debut this year. First career grand slam. His first career home run. It's a pretty good way to do it. Ooh, all the way to the backstop. It's going to roll away, and the runner will move up.
Rusty.
That thing rolled all the way down the front of the dugout.
Yeah, you know, you got to watch it if you're a catcher. When you go down there by the front of the dugout, if you reach for it and knock it into the dugout, it's 2 bases, I believe.
So Bonifacio to second with 2 outs, 1 and 2 on Cam Gallagher. Two and 2. Tigers have out-hit the Royals tonight 14-4 in what has been a lopsided game since the 2nd inning tonight, where the Tigers got a 7 spot.
11 batters in the inning.
Right up the middle for Romine on the backhand. Gallagher is out, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. The Indians are going for their 13th consecutive win tonight. Jose Ramirez has a couple of home runs. He is just not going to stop, is he?
Yeah, shocker, huh? This kid just keeps on hitting them out of the ballpark. Had a couple here against the Tigers in their last game. The Indians are on their way, aren't they?
They lead 6-4 in that game. Trying to win number 13 in a row.
Top 5.
And that would, if they win tonight, leave them 1 shy of their 14-game win streak from last year. Ryan Holiday is 3 for 5 with the Tigers. Spent the year at Toledo.
Well, that home run that Ramirez hit here, you remember the one that Mikey hit back out? They were
the one he batted over, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to it. I'll show you. I was talking to Brad today, and it was still, there's a difference of opinion whether it was that a home run or is it not a home run, because it hit the wall twice, and then bounced back, and then Mikey swatted it back out. Now he said he's asked several umpires, he's asked the league. There is a mixed, I guess, belief whether it was a home run or was not a home run.
Line to right field and caught there by Bonifacio.
So we take a look right here. Ball goes up. Mike goes back. This is Jose Ramirez. Hits the top of the wall on the yellow. Hits it again. He jumps up and hits it out. So does it matter that it bounced twice? Is it in play? When it touches him, does it matter if his feet are on the ground? What do you got on that?
Well, I guess my question is, what would be the reasoning that it wouldn't be a home run?
Because it could be considered back in play. It hit the wall, came down on the ball, and Mikey was in play, hit it back out. Like it goes, if you hit it out sideways in foul territory, it's definitely,
Was that another home run?
Yep.
John Hicks, have yourself an evening. Holy smokes, his second home run of the night. 4 RBIs. And the Tigers have hit 6 homers in this game.
Under
13-2.
104 miles an hour off the bat right here by John Hicks. Boom. It's right down the middle. He's a good side swing. He's got a good base and he's got very good strength. Boy, that came out. That had the afterburners on it. My goodness.
$15 Tigers hits in this game now. That's rolled to second base, backhanded. Torres throws him out, and Candelario's gone. 2 away. RBI Baseball 2017 is out now for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action, packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Check it out online, RBIGame.com.
When's the last time you did an Xbox? Because the kids do it, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You think you're good at it?
No. At one time I was decent, but I haven't played in so long.
How about when you were in college? You'd play Pac-Man and stuff like that?
Yeah, what was that? Galaga. That was the big game when I was in college. Galaga. The 01 is a ball low. Now, for you, when you were in college, probably Atari, right?
Atari.
Pong.
Kong, yeah, that was good.
No, Pong. Remember the one with just the 2 sticks that would just bat the ball back and forth?
No, Kong is where they had the thing that you had to go up.
That's going to be it as Presley is out. Let's go to the night.
America Park for the 1-800-CALL SAM update. 13-2 Tigers. That is not a typo. So I ask you, Rod Allen, more impressed by the Tigers' offense tonight or their bullpen?
What kind of question is that? I was a hitter, man. You know I love the hitters. But no, just kidding. I love what the pitchers have done here today. I mean, Brad, work that bullpen to perfection tonight, bringing in a couple of left-handers very early in the game. That would be Hardy. Also Stump to negate their left-handed bats. But I just love the approach of the offense as well. So I'm going to say it's a draw today, Mick.
All right, fair enough. 6 home runs for the Tigers already tonight. We think they might be done. We hope so, because that would mean it's going to be a big inning for the Kansas City Royals. We plan on taking you into a happy Tiger clubhouse. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, so we'll invite you to come along with us immediately following the game on Tigers Live. Mario, give it.
All right, guys, thanks very much. As we go to the 9th inning, Tigers trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Victor Alcantara has come on now for the Tigers.
Just here tonight, this season in the minors, you can see 3.62 ERA. Walks a few too many. He's got a good arm, though. This kid, he's got a little of the Fernando Rodney hat as well.
Yeah. Brad saying before the game today they did not expect to call this young man up, but because the Tigers have gotten, I think, 5 straight starts from their starters of 5 innings or less, they wanted that extra arm down there.
Boy, they're lucky they did it tonight, huh?
Yeah, there's no doubt, because Sanchez went out 1 batter in this game with an injury. And that came in handy this evening. Oh, 0-2 on Drew Butera. Pulled foul. Major League debut for Victor Alcantara.
Remember back in spring training when he arrived, I know that Frankie Rodriguez spent a lot of time with this kid. Try and make him comfortable getting over in the Tigers organization.
They got him from the Angels in the Cameron Maben deal, which was pulled off last November in the offseason. Now the 1-2, and he got him, strike 3. That's a way to start your big league career.
Good movement on this pitch right here. Look at it, he comes back, change up, swings back over the outside corner. Okay, looking.
Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Tomorrow on FS1, it's going to be Jason Hamill and Matthew Boyd.
And it's going to be a big game for Matt Boyd. He's a guy that's been searching a little bit, not as consistent, but he's had a great attitude. I'll give him that.
Grounder up the middle, Machado ranging left. Cuthbert is out, 2 gone. I would agree with that. And, you know, through all of the stuff that Matthew's been working through this year, he really has kept a positive attitude.
He has, and he believes that he can do the job. It's you learn a lot of lessons. Sometimes you get thinking about too many things, and it's hard to execute. Daniel Norris is another guy. High expectations for him. They've got him in the bullpen right now. I think he's healthy, physically healthy, and he's got to sort some things out. I think he'll look to finish strong here out of the bullpen, maybe get 1 more start, and then come into next year.
Here is Jorge Soler. 2 out, nobody on in the 9th. 1 more out for a Tigers victory. The 1-0 pitch hit him.
I think this is a changeup. There's something off speed. Yeah, it was a changeup. You can see it. It always is going to go to his arm side. He's got a loose arm. Look at there. That's a real deal. Can you see the flag up there?
No.
Can't?
I'll look harder next time. Mondesi fouls it back out of play. Struck out on the 7th, his only at bat after entering the game for Escobar.
A lot of misses arm side by Alcantara.
Line drive to right, base hit. Soler will go to second, and it's a single for Mondesi.
Tigers have 15 hits, the Royals only 5. Tigers did make an error first play of the game when Anibal Sanchez was hit by a ground ball. Picked it up and threw it away. Royals scored 1. Tigers scored 7 in the second. Added 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 6th, 7th, 8th. 13-2 Tigers.
7 in the 9 innings tonight the Tigers scored. Here's a pop-up. Should do it. Who wants it, Machado or Candelario? Machado. And the Tigers win convincingly tonight, 13-2. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios, Mickey York, with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you very much. Coming up on Tigers Live, when was the last time the Tigers hit 6 home runs in a game? We'll tell you and hear from one or both of the guys that hit 2 of them tonight. We'll show you how Mikey Matuk found redemption this evening. We'll visit with tonight's unsung heroes from the Tigers bullpen. And we cut the ribbon on Little Caesars Arena next on Tigers Live.